What is novel? A novel basically is taken from Latin word novella, that is referred as fictional piece of prose almost written in narrative style, presenting a realistic pictures of believable characters and events. The types of novel are autobiographical novel, epistolary novel, social realism novel, historical novel, novel of manners, mystery of novel. What is autobiographical novel? An autobiographical novel is a novel based on the life of the author. Example, the author is Charles Dickens. A novel is David Copperfield. Epistolary novel, novel in which the narrative is told in letters by one or more of the characters. Allow author to present feelings and reactions of characters. Allow multiple points of view, psychological realism. Example are author Samuel Richardson, novel is Pamela Clarissa. Social realism novel. Social or sociological novel deal with the nature, function, and effects of the society which the characters inhabit, often for the purpose of effecting reform. Social issues came to the forefront with the condition of laborers in the Industrial Revolution and later in the Depression, Dickens' Hard Times, Gaskell's Mary Barton. Next is historical novel. Novel that reconstruct a page's age, often when two cultures are in conflict. Fictional characters interact with historical figures in actual events. Sir Walter Scott, the father of the historical novel. The example of this, the Waverley novels by Ivanhoe. Novels of manners. To make fiction out of the observation of the social behavior is sometimes regarded as less worthy than to produce novel that excavate the human mind and yet the social gesture known as manner. Example of these are the author is Evelyn Watts' novel Handsful of Dust. The next is mystery novel. The mystery genre is the type of fiction in which the detective or other professional solves a crime or series of crimes. It can also be appeared as novel of short story. This genre is called as detective novel. Example of these are Dan Brown's, the authors, and the title of the novel is Da Vinci Code. What is genre? Genres. What are literary genres? Genres are different types of literature. Each genre has its own definition and characteristic. Number 1 is nonfiction. Nonfiction books are books about true subjects or ideas. These are books that generally have an index, glossary, tables of contents, appendix, and prefaces that we talk about. Informational text, what it is. Books about a single subject that are true. Example, Lion, Dogs, Millennium Children History, 20th Century. Next is biography, a book about the person, life written by someone else. Can be about their entire life, a part of their life, a single event in their life. Look. Next, the example of this is Martin Helen Keller and the story of Ruby Bridges. The next one is autobiography. The autobiography, a book about the person, life written by them. can be about their entire life, a part of their life, a single event in their life. Example are knots in my yo-yo string. And the next is the boy. What is this? More about the boy. And through my eyes. The next one is fiction only a little different. These books may be located in the non-fiction section. However, they are fiction, which means they are made up the story. Play, drama, written for the stage, contains a cast of characters in dialogue. Story is told solely through the action and words of the characters. Example is Brian's song, Escape to the Freedom, One Fine Day. The next is poetry. Groups of words that are written in the rhythm and sometimes rhyme. Many different kinds of poetry. Example, Falling Up, Color Me a Rhyme, and so many others. Fiction. Realistic fiction. Fiction that could happen in real life. It is set in modern times. Characters are not real but settings could be a real place. Example, Romana Queen by Age 8, Big Nate, and etc. Historical fiction. Fiction that includes historical information mixed in with the made-up part of the story. Event that happened could be real. Some true people could be mixed in with made-up characters. Settings are real. Example, Crispin. The next is the little house is the big woods. In the big woods. Across the, what is this? Across the wide and lonesome prairie. The next is mystery. Fiction where the main character must solve a crime or figure out the secret. The plot is suspenseful and full of twists and turns. Example of this are the Bungalow Mystery, the what else? And the Boxcar Children, and etc. Still fiction only fantasy, modern fantasy, a story that could never be real, set in modern times, usually contain magical elements. The example of these are Blizzard of the Blue Moon, Harry Potter, and the Capture. The next is the fairy tale, a story that has magical elements. It has a happy ending. Example of this Cinderella, The Beauty and the Beast, and fairy tales. The next one is fable, a short story which include animal with certain trait, all good, all bad, all hardworking, all lazy. Ends with a moral or lesson. Example of these are the tortoise of the hare, and the next is the once a mouse, little red ant, green big crumb. The next one is myth, a story that have been handed down to explain how human nature works that has no basis in reality. Example of this as Jason Argonauts, Medusa, The Night of the Moon Phil. Next one is the legend, a story that has been handed down but has someone basis of fact but with mythical qualities. The example of this a legend of the Blue Bonnet, the legend of Poinsettia, Will Moses Johnny Appleseed, and the last one is the Tall Tale, a story that is exaggerated. Characters and events in the story are larger than life. The example of these are Paul Bunyan, John Henry, the Americans' Tall Tale. This is the end of this